Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul Jaif Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. You know, I was thinking the other day about my first year in New York, living in this tiny pre-war apartment in Brooklyn. The radiator would clang in a specific, irregular rhythm every night. Bang, 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 bang. And I started to notice something strange. Not about the radiator, but about me. I found myself anticipating that pattern. My brain, desperate to make sense of the noise, started hearing it even when it wasn't there. I was imposing a predictable order on a random, mechanical sound. And it got me wondering, how much of what we call the paranormal is just that? Our minds, desperate for order, trying to impose a pattern on the random noise of the universe? But what if sometimes the pattern is real? That's what we're exploring today in episode 20, The Pattern in the Phenomena, a theory of paranormal recurrence. This isn't about proving ghosts are real. It's about examining the strange, recurring rhythms that seem to underpin so many unexplained events. The cycles, the repetitions, the echoes that make you think, wait, haven't I heard this story before? Let's start with something concrete. Place. We have countless stories of location-based phenomena. A specific stretch of road where drivers report the same phantom hitchhiker, decade after decade. A particular room in an old house where every new tenant feels an inexplicable chill and sees the same shadowy figure. The standard explanation is a haunting, a spirit tied to a location. But what if it's the location itself? Think of it like a geological tape recorder. Some theories, like the stone tape theory, suggest that intense emotional energy can somehow be imprinted on the environment, replayed under the right conditions. But recurrence goes beyond just replay. It's about the conditions themselves repeating. The same time of year, the same atmospheric pressure, the same alignment of who is there to witness it. The place becomes a stage, and the phenomenon is a play that only performs when very specific cues line up. It's not a conscious ghost remembering its lines. It's a natural, if utterly bizarre, process that resets and repeats. Then there's the recurrence of narrative. This is where it gets really fascinating to me as a storyteller. Isolate the details, and you'll hear the same story archetypes emerging from completely different cultures and eras. The vanishing village, like the Uncanny story from the Inuit or the many lost colony legends. The pact with a mysterious stranger, from Faust to modern tales of shadowy figures offering deals at crossroads. The aquatic humanoid, from the Babylonian Oans to the Loveland Frogman. These aren't just similar monsters, they're identical narrative blueprints. So, are we dealing with a universal human psyche projecting the same fears? Or is there something more? Could these narratives be a kind of psychic software, a hardwired way for humanity to process and catalog genuine, recurring anomalies that we don't yet have the science to describe? The pattern isn't in the event, but in how we're forced to storytell it. And this leads me to the most speculative, and to me, the most compelling layer, temporal recurrence. Not just things that happen in the same place, or follow the same story, but things that might happen in cycles. The concept of time as a spiral, not a line. There are anecdotal clusters of UFO sightings, of poltergeist outbreaks, of profound synchronicities that seem to peak and ebb in ways we can't quite map. Researchers like Jacques Vallée have suggested these phenomena might be control systems, a kind of sociological thermostat that engages when humanity reaches certain points in its development. A recurring curriculum for our species. Or, think of it like this. If reality is a simulation, recurrence could be a glitch in the source code, a loop that manifests under specific processing loads. If it's a multidimensional construct, these events might be echoes from a parallel timeline bleeding into ours at points of weak separation. The pattern is a symptom of a deeper structure we're brushing up against. Sitting here, in my studio, with my engineer's brain and my storyteller's heart, I wrestle with this. The rationalist in me says we are pattern recognition machines. It's our greatest survival skill. We see faces in clouds and conspiracies in coincidence. We connect dots that were never meant to be connected. But the part of me that grew up listening to my grandmother's tales in Bangladesh, stories of jinn and river spirits that followed their own ancient, incomprehensible rules, that part wonders if the skill exists because there are patterns to find. Maybe the unexplained isn't a chaotic mess of random spooky events. Maybe it's a complex, interwoven system operating on principles we haven't deciphered yet. The recurrence of place, of story, of time. These could be the first few lines of a code we're only just beginning to read. So, what's the takeaway from all this? For me, it's a shift in how to listen. When you encounter a story of the unexplained, don't just ask, is it true? Ask, where have I heard this rhythm before? Look for the pattern, not just the event. It's in that repetition, that strange, eerie echo across time and space, where the real mystery might be hiding. The phenomenon isn't the ghost in the attic. The phenomenon is the fact that the ghost always appears on the coldest night of the year, to the person who is always the second-born child. The pattern is the message. Thank you for listening to this exploration. If this theory resonated with you, or sparked a new thought, I'd love for you to share this episode with someone who sees patterns in the strange. For more deep dives into the mysteries that surround us, make sure you're subscribed to the Unexplained Archive, wherever you get your podcasts. This has been Ibnul Jaif Farabi. Our production house, Light Knot Studios, is dedicated to tying together light and sound to tell these stories. You can find more of our work at lightknotstudios.com. Until next time, keep looking and pay attention to the rhythm.